Welcome back to the Following Films podcast. I'm your host, Chris Maynard. Today we're taking a look at one of the most talked about, bone-chilling releases of the year. It's sitting at a massive 97% on Rotten Tomatoes, and critics are calling it an absolute standout horror masterpiece. I'm talking, of course, about Curry Baker's hit horror thriller, Obsession. Joining us today is a veteran of the screen who has over 2 decades of experience and more than 70 television episodes under his belt, from intense dramas like Ozark and Will Trent to beloved comedies like Modern Family. But in a movie defined by pure psychological tension, he manages to steal the show with a brilliant comedic performance that's quickly become an audience favorite. I'm thrilled to be speaking with the incredibly versatile, risk-taking, and man behind Harry in Obsession, the fantastic Darin Toonder. I hope you enjoy the show.
More DVD or a CD? I think just one more. I don't think the collection is quite complete yet.
It's not. It's that I'm running out of room at this point. So you can see like the top shelves are just stacked on top at this point. So there's no longer shelving. I'm gonna have to build custom ones that go all the way up to the ceiling to keep it going at this point.
Well, how many do you think you got there?
Well, right there, that's not all of them. I have it's 1,500 or so, I think, roughly.
Wow, 1,500. And okay, so what's the one you've watched the most out of that whole collection?
Probably, I'm almost 50. I'm 49. And so if you were raised in the 80s and 90s like I was, we rewatched movies a lot. So there were the first things that you rebought them on formats. So there was movies that I bought on VHS, then I bought them on Laserdisc, then I bought them on DVD, then I bought them on Blu-ray, then I bought them on 4K, and I watched them a couple times on each, and I watched them with commentary tracks. Probably Aliens, I think, is the movie I've seen the most times out of that. More than likely.
That's a good one.
It's not bad.
But here's the deal, though. Which, by the way, have we begun? Is this beginning?
No, yeah.
We got that great moment at the beginning. That's great. That's fantastic. You know, they say capture them in the first 3 seconds, and I think we captured them in the first.
We're good. We got them.
We started off strong, but it's how you finish, right? It's not how you start. But anyway, what movie do you think you quote the most?
Oh, that's a really good question. Movie that I quote the most.
It's a hard one, isn't it?
You know, yeah, it's probably something like Better Off Dead or something like that, just because there's certain things that I say in my household that just come up, and they're reference points that like we'll say around my kids, and they don't even know what we're talking about. You know, like when we go up to the mountains, and it'll be, do you know what the street value of that is? And
God, the street value of this mountain is pure snow. I mean, it's great.
Exactly.
Which one is that? The one you say the most, or what's the one you say the most?
Oh, I'm trying to think. Probably the $2 thing is probably the thing that gets said.
$2.
Yeah, something like that. How about for you? What's the movie you quote?
I gotta go. I know mine, hands down, no question. Princess Bride.
Oh, yeah.
And a close second is Coming to America.
That's a really good one.
I mean,
too.
if it's a great day, I almost always say, "Another beautiful day in Zamunda." I mean, I say that so much. And then whenever I'm leaving or like staying at my brother's house or whatever, or anyone at my brother's house, or anytime I'm like saying goodnight to someone or leaving the house, I always go, okay. You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yes.
When he's walking out, Peter Falk's walking out.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know how many times, and but I don't ever quote the obvious. I never say inconceivable or anything like that. It's just like, oh, the other one is, I would not say such things if I were you. I mean, come on.
It's pretty amazing. I mean,
it's a great. I'm trying to think of all the ones I quote from there, but
William Goldman's a pretty good writer, from what I.
Fantastic. Well, and that's funny is I even quoted Coming to America in a commercial I shot.
Oh, really?
I'm shooting this commercial, and it's me just like I'm sitting there like bored out of my mind with my wife shopping. And she has her dog, and she goes, "Hey, could you hold Pebbles for a second?" And she kind of does like this, like a football. And I see it as a
Yeah.
football, and I come alive, and I go, "Oh!" And I go, "Huh?" And I grab the football, and then I run through the shop,
Yeah. Yeah.
And I go 30, 20, 10, touchdown, right? And everything. And there was a mannequin there, and I said, "Can I stiff arm that mannequin?" And the director's like, "Yes." And when I did that, I went in the face, and I was just, from the coming, when he stands up,
Yeah.
he goes,
Yeah. Of course. Of course.
in the face. And I was like, that was so everybody, and then sometimes if I can find any time where I can throw something out there that my brothers would appreciate, like there's this picture of this, like when I shot one of the episodes of Paradise I did in season 2, I
Hmm.
passed out on the couch. And when my and I have my hand, that like halfway
Yeah.
down the pants, right? And that was a totally like an ode to my dad.
Oh, I was wondering if it was
He
like an
was
Al
doing it
Bundy
before Al
thing or
Bundy. No, he
something.
was doing it before Al Bundy. And of course I've been known to. I think I sometimes do that myself, not as much as I used to. My brother used to do double hands. He used to get both in there, like, oh, you double handed it, huh? Two fisted, huh? So that was like the moments like those. It's like where my brothers would know, oh, he did that, or oh, that's I
Where do
try
you
to find.
fall? Where do you fall in the mix
I'm
with
the
your
middle
brothers?
child.
Middle child, so
Makes
older,
sense, right?
younger. Okay, all
Yeah.
right. Yeah, I mean
Somebody please look at me. I'll
I'm
be an
I'm
actor.
I'm one of five, but I
I'm one of
have
five too.
I have an older brother and a younger brother. So it
Okay.
was three boys, then two girls. So I kind of feel like a middle child in many ways.
In a certain, yes, in that XY chromosome. Wait, it's the XY is the guy, right?
Yeah, yeah,
YY is the girl, right? That's right.
correct. Yeah, you're good
Sometimes the files don't pull up as fast as they used to, man. Do you ever have those moments where you're like, what the hell am I talking about?
all the time, all
Or
the time.
or that those moments where you've said like, I don't know why, but Christopher Walken is a name. I've said his name millions of times.
Sure.
And for some reason, sometimes that's a name I'll just go, yeah, that guy.
Do you end up like having to impersonate him to try to
Yes,
get
I did. That's what
you know
Christopher
the
Walken.
wow, that guy.
Wow, the fire. And then they Christopher. Yes, 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 yes. You know what? I even had a really embarrassing moment. There was so the production coordinator Paradise wanted me to watch that TV show Derek.
Sure. Yeah.
That
Yeah.
Ricky Gervais. There it is.
Yeah.
Jesus. Ricky Gervais. It's just at the moment. Ricky Gervais did. And in that, I don't know, did you ever see that show?
I no, I have not watched it, but I am
Neither had
familiar with
I.
it.
And but the guy Roy Kent, the guy who plays
Mhm.
Roy Kent and Ted Lasso's in it.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
and I enjoyed watching like a few episodes because he's completely different than Roy Kent, than his character in Ted
Man,
Lasso.
Roy Kent feels like somebody that was pulled off the street, though. That character feels so real that I can't imagine him doing anything else.
Well, he's like a sweet, charming,
Of
sweet
course.
guy
Of course.
in Derek. And I was like, and I really the dichotomy of him, what he did in Ted Lasso in this, I was like, oh, because there's certain actors I don't ever want to meet
Yeah.
because I respect them. Like, did you ever see Dirtbag?
Of
Dirtbag.
course. Yeah. 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 Yeah.
The sister in Dirtbag,
Okay.
who plays her sister.
Right.
I don't ever want to meet her because I thought she did such a phenomenal job in acting that, tightly wound person. I don't want to meet her because just in case I meet her, I'm like, oh, you're just really a tightly wound. That's who you are. And then I lose respect for you as an actor. It's like, of course you can play that role, as opposed to, you putting that thing on like a Johnny Depp does, like with, Captain Jack Sparrow.
Sure.
But that's the other thing. I've met some other actors who I really respected who can play these like eccentric characters, right? Really eccentric characters. And then when I meet them, I go, oh, I don't respect you as much as an actor because you're just a really weird, eccentric guy. So no wonder you can play that guy. You know what I mean?
Well, is it more impressive when you meet somebody and it's like it's tough to get anything out of them, And then the camera turns on and they can become anything. But then when
Yeah,
you meet them one on one, it's almost like this, not to be insulting, but it's almost like there's like this, it's like a blank slate when you meet
yeah.
them. And then, but when they put other people's words in their mouth, they can just become anything.
That's it's I've had those experiences, yeah, where it's just sometimes but that's the other thing. Sometimes, I wonder sometimes, like some people they get so um accosted so much.
Yeah.
I think that because of course everybody wants to talk to them. And so sometimes I think, they don't, like the don't feed the bears kind of a thing. Like
Well,
whatever you do, don't engage.
do you have any question for Paul McCartney that hasn't been answered at this point? If you meet him, is there anything you have to say?
What would I say to Paul McCartney? That's a good question. What would I say to Paul McCartney? No, I'll tell you what I would say. I wouldn't ask him this. I would say, no, this is what I would say to Paul McCartney. I would say to him, do you really think simply having a wonderful Christmas time was a good song? Because I don't know about you. Like, I have the Christmas songs I love and the Christmas songs I hate. And that is I cannot, for some reason, that song I can't stand.
I'm with you.
Because
I'm with you.
it's like dude, you're better than that, Paul. You're better than that with the stupid Casio. Doom, doom, doo, doo,
But
doo. It's so repetitive.
if anybody gets a pass, though, if
Yeah, I'll give
anybody,
you that one, Paul. I'll give you that one. But simply having a wonderful Christmas time, I kind of hate you for that.
it comes every year. You're going to hear it no less than 20 times every year, even trying to avoid it.
People go, I got whammed like that last Christmas.
Sure.
Can you get through Christmas without hearing that Wham song? And for me, it's can I get through Christmas without hearing that song? Close second is Feliz Navidad. Because this is like a 3-4 minute song that only needed to be 90 seconds.
Well, there's certain ones that my wife loves Christmas music, but there's certain songs that she hates. And in turn, I found a certain love for them because of how much they annoy her.
Yeah.
So if there's like, what is it? The Italian Christmas donkey song, whatever in God's name that. Have you ever heard this song?
Wait, is that the one?
Where it has the hee haw in it. Do you have any idea what I'm talking about?
I think I've only heard that once, and like whenever it comes on, I just immediately. And so I don't, those songs, I don't ever want to hear that again. I don't ever want to hear that again.
That's it. But my 5-year-old, he was 5 at the time, he's 10 now, thought it was hilarious when he heard it, drove my wife nuts. So that's every year. That's coming on.
Yeah. Oh my God. Like, I cannot wait for you to grow out of it. I love you, kid, but I cannot wait for you to grow out of this. Wait, it's okay. Do you have a Christmas song that you absolutely like? I cannot stand that Christmas song. Is that it? The donkey one?
Oh, it's a terrible song, but the fact that it gets a rise out of my wife makes me love it. So that's, yeah, it's honestly that basically. But I would say that, yeah, that Paul McCartney song is pretty terrible that I don't want to, I don't, it's, if it was on its own, a song that wasn't related to Paul McCartney, I just wouldn't even notice it. I wouldn't care. But because this is the guy that was in the Beatles, because this was the guy that was in Wings, because he's written some of the most important music of the last 65 years. Yeah. I hold him to a higher standard than he held himself that afternoon, I think.
Yeah, it's like you didn't really work hard on that one, did you? That's maybe when you had a bunch of yes men around you, didn't you? No one sat there and said, Paul, no. You could have done better. That would be an interesting thing to say, Paul McCartney. You could have done better. Expect more out of you. But you know what? The one that I absolutely love is and I can't believe we're talking about Christmas music.
I don't know how we're here, but I'm just rolling with it. I assure you, this was not on my prepared questions.
Yeah, that's great. It's great. Is I love It's the Most Wonderful Time of the Year.
Yeah.
I love that song. And then I also really like have you ever heard of, do you know the band Lake Street Dive?
No.
I enjoy that band. And they do a version of I Want a Hippopotamus for Christmas.
Oh, okay. Yeah, sure.
Their version of that song, because they come to do some like calypso-y kind of thing to it, and with the horns and everything, and with this rhythm, man, is that song great. I love that song. And have you ever heard Red Peter's Holy Shit, It's Christmas?
No, never heard
You
that.
know,
Okay.
I'm going to tell you, with those two songs I just give you, I'm just going to tell you, I think 26 is going to be the best Christmas ever for you.
See, for me, it's always just putting on the Bad Religion Christmas EP. That's
Religion. I didn't even know Bad Religion had a, they had a,
they have a Christmas EP. Yeah,
is it any good?
it's really good. It's really solid. If you like Bad Religion,
I'll give it a listen. I'll give it a listen.
report back. Let me know what you think.
Yeah, not right now. I'm not gonna, because I can only. I like to save it to. I'll save it to Christmas. So if you might hear from me come the holidays. What the hell are you talking about?
Okay, I got to ask you though. One thing with Obsession, kind of pulling this together. You were talking about performers that you don't want to meet because they were so good in something. Indy in this film is one of the best performances I've seen. I think this is Oscar level worthy performance that'll probably get ignored because these types of films do get ignored for this thing. But what she does with this and the depth that she's bringing to this role is so incredible. And this is such a performance piece all around. All the casting in this is phenomenal. Yeah. But this is such an effective movie where you can have somebody smile and it's unnerving. You can have somebody just standing and it's horrifying. And the movie goes far, it gets dark, it gets incredibly gory, but the moments that stick with you are really just these character moments that are just brutal to watch.
Yeah, I tell you, here's her hope. Here's her hope, because I absolutely agree with everything you said about, especially with the Oscar thing. But the hope is Sinners, kind of a horror movie.
Yeah.
Mind you, it was a big budget and a big, huge director doing it too, so that helps. But the fact that he won for a horror movie, I think that gives her hope. Especially, I think maybe because it was such a low budget film. I think that kind of gives it some cachet too. It wasn't some big budget thing, so maybe they're like, "Oh, we want to promote this to," at least I think that would be a very smart thing to do too. But yeah, I thought she was great. And you know what? I was talking to someone about this. They were talking about the love scene when they were making love, right?
Where it's after the fight at dinner, that one?
Yes.
Yes.
And let me ask you, let me get your theory on this. I
Sure.
want to get your theory because we were talking about, he was like, yeah, he's like, I don't know why she, like, during that sex scene, she looked so miserable.
Yes.
And I went, I wonder, like, was it, I don't know if it's because of bad sex, but I wonder, because you know how she had those moments where she would flash and it was her?
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, I'm wondering if and that's something I would love to ask her. Hey, when she was that a choice of her being, that was her as opposed to this possessed thing that she wanted to?
Yeah. In those moments, she tends to freak out and there's the big push out from that in that moment. So I think it really goes down to what the wish was in that moment, where she said the wish was something along the lines of, I wish she loved me more than anything in the world. And then in the pictures that she leaves in the lunchbox, it's, I love you kind of more than me is what, like, the two pictures. I think in that moment, she knows she doesn't feel anything sexually for him, but she loves him so much that she's willing to do this for herself because she doesn't care enough about herself to say no.
Yeah.
And so to me, that's how I interpret that.
And that too, like absolutely agree. Cause maybe that's just how bad it was.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I just wonder if that was like when she was asleep and she said her thing. I don't want to say it because it's just in case anybody, but what she was saying, what she was asking him to do was sleep. And I was like, I wonder if that was a moment where she was also just flashing into the real her. This is terrible. I don't know. Both are fine. Both are a great idea. I just was curious about it. I was like, I wonder if that's what it was. But anyway, but yeah, she made there was a few moments where that my spine chills up my spine because it was so freaky.
Well, it's the theater was so loud that I saw it in, that it was just everybody was yelling, and it was such a great energy in the movie that it was just it was a great time. Like very depressing story when you
Oh,
think about it. It's a rough story, but man, it's a good time watching it.
yeah.
It's so
Oh,
much fun to
absolutely.
watch. But this is, I'm a dad. I have a 15-year-old son and a 10-year-old son. And me and my wife, when we were leaving the theater, one of the first things we said was, we need our 15-year-old to watch this movie. That we 15-year-old boys should be required to watch this movie, because it's about you. It's about me. It's about us.
Yeah,
And we need to see this so that we haven't, because
absolutely.
this is one of, it's, it's really rare to see a movie that has such a strong point of view that never feels like it's on a soapbox, which is, I don't know how you pull that off, but they did.
Yeah, I mean, the execution. I mean, he stuck the landing. I mean, he just nailed that. That,
Oh my,
and like, I'm curious to see what he's going to do next, because that's like that Great Gatsby thing where you just write this. Although I wasn't a big fan. Did you read Great Gatsby?
I did. It's not one of mine.
Yeah, I don't get why it's considered a masterpiece, but it's his masterpiece. And I was like, man, that's going to be hard to, because I heard he's doing Texas Chainsaw Massacre. He
Yeah.
got signed on to do the reboot of that, or is doing that. And I was like,
There's
ooh,
is he doing the Glenn Powell one?
I'm
Or is
not
that the
sure
TV
which one.
one? There's two versions of that are going around right now.
You know what? I'm not quite sure about that. Like, I saw it and then I shot him an email to congratulate him. I'm like, oh my God, that's fantastic, dude. You know,
And not to be reductive, but he's so young.
dude, I
Like
gotta tell you,
like it kind of pisses me off a little bit as somebody twice his age.
oh, it makes me so angry. But it's the thing is, you know what? So I shot that film, right?
Yeah.
And I watched his short, The Chair, before I auditioned for it. And then like 4 or 5 months, after we shot the movie, I'm shooting, like, I think I was shooting Paradise at this time, and someone on Paradise mentioned him and his Instagram, or showed me like one of his Instagram photos. I'm like, what is that? He goes, oh yeah, dude, this guy's all over Instagram. I'm like, really? I didn't even know about this, right?
Yeah.
I just thought he just did this short that was really good short, and I'm like, he's oh Instagram, and I'm looking at this son of a bitch's Instagram, and I'm going, like he's just pumping like the. How do you pump out that much content, and quality content too?
So me and
Yeah,
my
I just was
friends,
so amazed by it, and how great it was, and how much, like, anybody who can do that. I was like, man, you're like a savant or something, man. Jesus, a
no,
little.
that's something different, because when I was in high school and college, me and my friends made movies because we wanted to be actors, we wanted to be
Yeah,
writers, we
yeah.
wanted to be directors. We all did that stuff. None of it was close to what he was doing. He's at a different level, that he just started creating his own stuff so that he could get out there and start doing it. And he kind of backed into directing, and then you're that good at it, is Jesus Christ, man. You look at the way the eyes are lit in this. And we have there's a problem in Hollywood with the way films look right now. But
Yeah,
this is an incredibly well thought out, well designed, and incredibly well executed film. It looks amazing. And you don't
yeah.
see that from first time filmmakers. And to see it from somebody that started with YouTube, it started with Instagram, it started with social media videos. It's crazy how good this is.
He reminds me a little bit of because he was saying he wanted his Instagram or the YouTube things to look like the level of Key and Peele.
Yeah.
And so we talked
Yeah.
about Key and
It
Peele,
was comedy stuff.
and I think that's so interesting, because just like Jordan got into horror, and he's kind of like doing so,
Yep.
and I wonder how much of an influence Jordan is to him. But even like those things he was doing, I think he was 24 I think he was 24 when he shot it. And because we shot that in November of 24, I believe. And so it took a while to come out, it took a
Yeah.
while.
Yeah. I did the festival circuit for a bit. It
Yeah,
was,
I mean, it was because it went to TIFF
mhm.
September, yeah, and that's when he sold it. I found out, how much it got sold for. I was like, dude, couldn't imagine being that age and just bam. Hollywood's like, come on in, you've got the golden ticket. You know what I mean? I can't imagine what that must be like at that age.
I
And
know.
at the same time, it's not like he didn't work hard to get it.
No, of course.
He,
But
he
it probably felt like a really long time to him. From the time that you're 16 till you're, 26 or, 16 to 24, that feels like forever when you're that age. Now
at our age, we just go like this.
eight years disappears like that for me now. Like I lose 8 years like nothing happened.
Because that's the thing. Like now, did you ever see you ever hear that? Was it someone likened time to a roll of toilet paper?
No, but I get it. Yeah.
The closer it gets to the end, the quicker it rolls out.
Yep. Yeah.
It's like, I don't know about second grade was like forever, right?
Of course.
This year will never end. This summer will never end. And now it's like, bam.
Yeah.
It's amazing how quick it goes by. So yeah, maybe at that time when you're like, oh my God, this is taking forever. I'm just curious what he says, what he would say if it seemed like forever or it was like, oh my gosh, but it's, with the quality content that he put out and the obviously the work ethic, just to constantly just be creating and creating. I think even on his Instagram it says, which I really liked, it says, I'm happy when I'm creating, if I remember that correct. And I just really enjoyed that, because there's one of the, I've been watching all these like universe documentaries and quantum physics and all that stuff. And I think if you're doing in watching all these, I'm like, wow, I think if you're doing these three things, there's three things that I think if you're doing that, you're living life right.
What are those three things?
Well, one is, the universe's creation. It's constantly
sure.
Well, it was creation, and boom, and then all these things got created. I'm just like, so if you're creating, and that could be anything. That could be I'm creating a family, I'm creating music, I'm creating a movie, I'm creating a business, I'm creating, or I'm just simply painting, or as long as you're in that place of creation, I think that, and then the other thing, watching everything about, how everything is all connected. Like even from millions of years, we're still all connected to that.
Sure.
And so I think if you're connecting with something or having some sort of connection, and that could be, again, I'm connecting to someone, or I'm connecting to nature, I'm like hugging a tree or whatever you want to get woo, or I'm connecting to listening to some music, I'm really connecting to this piece of music. And then the other one is, the universe is constantly expanding and growing. And so if you're growing in some ways, whatever that way may be to you, I think if you're doing those three things, it's like you're in line with whatever this craziness is. Does that make sense?
No, it makes perfect sense. I think the idea that if you're not, to put it in the terms of the universe, if you're not expanding, you're contracting. If you're not living, you're dying. So it's that mind shift that happens that I think a lot of us, when we're younger, we're defined by the things we consume. I listen to this music, therefore I'm like this. I'm on this team, so I am this. I play sports, that kind of thing. And I think when you get older, you're more concerned with the things that you create, be it your family, your work, and you understand that your place in the world, while it is small, it is impactful. And so you take that more seriously as you get older.
And I think that's what family is so great. I mean, I think you can have all three of those things with just family.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I'm connecting to my family. I'm growing this family, and we're growing as a family, and we're whatever we're creating, whatever it's love or connection. I mean, I don't have a family. I would love to have a family. I don't have one, but
sure.
when I watch that, I just go, oh man, what's like. I watch Modern Family sometimes. I just go, my heart just goes, oh
yeah,
oh, I would like to have that. I would like to have that. So what's that like for you then?
I wouldn't recommend it to anybody that's not fully on board with it. It's something that will utterly change you and destroy you if you're not open to it. And so I think there's a lot of really bad parents out there who just kind of maybe moved into it because they didn't think too much about it.
Yep.
I know a lot of people that have families that try to talk people into it that don't have it. I'm kind of the opposite. That if you really are trying, it's going to destroy, it's going to change your life. Destroy it. By that, I just mean it's going to completely level anything you were doing before, and the center of your world changes. And to me, I needed a family to have that. for some people, you don't need a family to have the center of your world be outside of yourself. I needed that. For some people, they can be very charitable and they can have organizations they're involved in and think much more deeply about their, sense of community and those things without having a family. For me, that's what unlocked that in me.
So that's what you said, what changed you.
Yeah.
And I'm interested when you say or it could destroy you, where do you feel like that could the possibility of that happening?
Well, so there's the person that I was before I had a family doesn't exist anymore. So that person's dead. He's gone. I don't know that's a stranger. It's so hard for me to imagine my life prior to 15 years ago. I have friends that were from that time period and I know people and I have memories of that time period, obviously, but it feels so distant, in that I was running things through my own sort of filters and saying, okay, what do I want to do today? What am I doing today? And instead of what do I need to do today? What's being asked of me today? What is my responsibility that I have to uphold? Because I have a wife and kids that are counting on me to do certain things, just to uphold my end of the bargain. And so that's something that has made my life by far more meaningful. But again, I don't think it's for everybody. And I think you can have that meaning without. And so I never want to say that you can't have that without a family. There's tons of people that have that without, but it's just for me, that's what centered my life, I think.
I think, what you're saying reminds me of something I was thinking where, the idea of kids.
Yeah.
It's a lot different than the actuality of kids.
Yes.
And there's one thing about being a parent, and then there's another thing about being a good parent. And I've got these neighbors, and when they moved in, they had a 6-month-old, and then they had another kid. And watching them be good parents, it's like really showing up for their kids. I was like, oh man, that's a lot of work.
It is
like a lot of work to be a really good parent. And as opposed to, some people just have kids and kind of do their thing. And yeah, parenting is easier. Yeah, having kids, because you're not really doing it. You're not really showing up for your kid.
It's very humbling to do it. And one of the best pieces of advice I got very early on was somebody just let me know that if you feel like you're fucking up, you're probably doing a pretty good job. If you feel like you're crushing it, you probably need to work a little harder. So
I was talking, well, I'm curious if this is what your thought is, because I was talking to some people, like some moms and some dads about this, friends. And I've noticed this is the information I received, is the thing that I noticed women are kind of about the most is how am I fucking up? Am I fucking up as a parent? How am I fucking up as a parent? And then the one that the men mostly were worried about is I cannot die. Like I cannot die. I cannot leave my kid fatherless. I have to stay alive somehow. You know what I mean? And I was like, what is that? Does that resonate with you? Or is your biggest anxiety about being a parent or a dad something different?
So it was that a mistake that I would make would be something that would cause harm to them. Mm-hmm. When you have little kids that are running around and my oldest, there was a point when he was like 3 and he came chasing me out to the car to say goodbye when I was leaving for work in the morning. Mm-hmm. And I just had this thought that passed in the back of my mind, because this was at the time I didn't have a backup camera on the car I was driving. And it's like, what if he did that? And and so that kind of thing pops in, that I could do something that would harm that, when you put them to sleep and you lay them down in bed, that they might not wake up in the morning, that kind of thing. You get over that fear eventually, that they're going to die in the middle of the night. And then it becomes that I haven't prepared them for the world, and that kind of anxiety about it. So
I have this joke where it's like, well, no, it's joke. It's half serious, half joking. Where I go, if I ever had a kid, when he would graduate high school, I would sit him down and go, all right, little Darin, here's the deal. I'm not paying for your college, but here's a check for $100,000. This is for every kind of possible therapy that you could imagine, like Reiki, whatever you want to do, ketamine therapy, whatever it is. Use this money to heal that, because I'm sure somehow, some way, your mother and I fucked you up pretty good.
Oh, yeah.
And I honestly think if you heal that, like heal those wounds, I think that's worth more than a college degree.
You have to let go of that you're gonna screw them up.
Oh,
There's no way around it. And
absolutely.
so the only thing that you can hope for is that you look at the ways that your parents screwed you up and try to either emulate the things they did well or try to revolt against the things they didn't do well, and accept them and love them for they were just people that were trying, and let go of all the crap from when you were young, let go of all that hostility you had towards your parents. Now that you're a parent, you can understand it, that they tried. They did their best. They didn't know what they were doing. None of us know what we're doing. So I'm sure.
And that's in life too.
Yeah.
Like there was this guy, his name is Renee. Oh my God. He does the School of Life videos on YouTube. I love this guy. And one of those things is like, the sooner you accept that you're an idiot and you really don't know, fully know what you're doing, the easier life gets. Because then it just becomes easier if it's supposed to, I have to, and just like I'm just doing the best I can. I'm doing the best I can here.
That's all you can ask for.
And hopefully it works more often than not. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, you say you got 2 kids though, right?
Mm-hmm.
What are like 2 traits that you admire about your 2 kids?
Oh, I love that. I love that. It's a great question. For the 10-year-old, I love his curiosity about the world, that it hasn't softened with age, that he still asks a ton of questions. And for my 15-year-old, I love his sense of self that he has, that he knows himself much better than I did when I was 15, that he can speak up for him, that he's very much like me, and that he's very quiet and introverted. It's strange for somebody that does this to be an introvert, but I absolutely am by nature. I'm not somebody that naturally wants to talk to strangers. But I've gotten comfortable doing it. But I never wanted to speak up for myself when I was a kid, so much so that I go by Chris now because I moved schools when I was in 9th grade. I went by Scott until I was 14 years old. I went to a new school. My middle name is Scott, and I went by Scott until I was 14. They called me Chris at roll call because that's my first name. And I said, okay, I guess I'll just be Chris now. Because I didn't have the confidence to stand up and say, no, I'm actually Scott. So my family calls me Scott, and I go by Chris with everybody that knows me outside of my family.
Isn't that wow?
So my son does not have that. He has a lot of my traits, but he has a much stronger sense of self than I ever did. And I'm really glad, because he has so much of me in him. I'm glad that he's better than I am.
And so he can set those boundaries and say, no, stuff. Well, that's great. You ever tell them that?
Of course.
That you love about them?
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah. You got to tell them the things you're proud of them for, and you got to tell them the things that you fell short on. Got to let them know when you screw up, and, apologize for it, and just try to come clean and let them know that you're human, that you're trying. And that's it.
Did you ever watch, one of the best parenting pieces of advice I ever heard or wish I had was, did you ever see any of those interviews with the woman who created Spanx?
No.
She was sitting there talking about her dad, and she goes, every day at dinner, he would ask us every day at dinner, what did you fail at today? Because he believed if you weren't failing,
you weren't trying.
You weren't growing. Yeah, you weren't trying and you weren't growing.
Yeah.
And so they would come to the dinner table with their failures, and he would just go, "It's fantastic." And he goes, "Try it again," or did it? And he would just, supposedly he was just so celebratory that the fact that they just put forth the effort to put themselves out there or be seen or try something or want to do this, because he's like, that's when you're growing. That's when you're growing.
Yep.
And she said it was because of that when she was trying to sell the idea of Spanx, she'd be, just calling and people would pick up and go, "You can't do that. Don't do this again." And she's like, "Oh, okay." And she just pick up a call and do it again.
Good for her.
Because this is what Dad taught me. You just keep going and failing. And I'm like, man, what a wonderful gift to give. Anyway, I thought that was great.
No, I love that. I that's some of the best advice you can get is to and it's not, if you try and fail, then it's fine. If you don't put any effort, if you don't do anything, then that's not failure, because you didn't risk anything.